The fire burns quietly in the middle of the night. It pops and crackles, sending tiny sparks into the dark. An old man sits close to the flames. His back is a little bent. His eyes are pale, and the cowrie shells on his chest clink softly each time he breathes in and out. The light from the fire shines on his face and makes the wrinkles look like small rivers. He leans forward, warming his hands, and begins to chant in a slow, steady voice. Child who comes and goes, child of leaf and shadow. Abiku, spirit child, will you stay with us this time, or will you leave again? His words move like waves. He pauses, then repeats. The chant is gentle, but it carries weight, like a prayer that has been said many times before. Around him, a few villagers sit quietly. No one jokes, no one moves much. The only sounds are the fire, the night insects, and the old man's voice. Some people bow their heads, others hold their hands together. Everyone understands what the chant means. For many years, long before hospitals were close by, families across West Africa faced the same pain. A baby would be born, grow a little, then fall sick and die. Sometimes it happened again and again in the same family. People called such a child Abiku, a spirit child who comes into the world but does not stay. The name helped families make sense of something too hard to explain. To someone outside, this may sound like superstition. But to the parents who kept losing children, the story of Abiku was a way to survive the grief. The chant gave them words when there were no answers. The shells, the fire, the careful rhythm, all of it was a promise. We will do everything we can to keep this child here. The old man's voice grows softer. He draws a shape in the sand with a stick, then blows gently into the fire, as if sending his message into the night. He's not playing with magic. He's holding up a shield made of faith and memory, hoping he will be strong enough for one more child. From the forest nearby, a sound begins to rise. At first, it is faint, like a heartbeat far away. Then it grows louder, heavier, until it feels as if the ground itself is speaking. It is the bata drums. These drums are not played for fun. They are not background music. Every beat is a word, every rhythm is a sentence. The sound carries meaning, a secret language meant for gods, ancestors, and spirits. Those who know how to listen can hear the message inside the rhythm. The drummers step forward, their hands moving fast, their bodies swaying as they strike the skins. They walk toward the village square where a giant Iroko tree stands. The tree towers above every roof, and its bark, rough and dark, marked with deep grooves that look almost like writing. Some say the marks were carved by time. Others say they are messages left by the spirits themselves. To the villagers, this is not just any tree. It is the oldest in the land. They believe its roots dig so deep that they touch both the world of the living and the world of the dead. It is a doorway, a bridge, a place where bargains can be made. Slowly, people begin to gather under the Iroko's wide branches. Mothers press their children close, as if afraid the spirits might take them away. Fathers grip their walking sticks tighter. Everyone's face is tense. There is fear here, yes, but also a fragile kind of hope. Maybe tonight something can be done. Maybe tonight they will save a child. The drums grow stronger. Their rhythm shakes the earth, rattling through the bones of those who stand close. It feels as if the sound is not only calling out, but also pulling something in, drawing unseen forces to the circle under the tree. The old man's chant mixes with the drums, rising like smoke into the night. This is the moment the struggle begins. A struggle not fought with fists or weapons, but with belief, with rhythm, with fire and prayer. To the villagers, this is a battlefield, and the prize is simple: the life of a child. Far away from the village, in the noisy heart of modern Lagos, a man sits in front of a laptop. His small apartment is dimly lit, the sound of traffic outside still leaking through the windows. He is a doctor, but tonight, he is not in a hospital. He's at home, restless, worried. His name is Dr. Kola. On the screen, his fingers move quickly across the keyboard. He has opened Reddit, searching for anyone who might understand his pain. His post appears: "My village is killing my nephew with superstition. What can I do?" He pauses, staring at the words. His chest is tight. He types more. He explains. His young nephew, Tunde, is in crisis. The boy suffers from sickle cell disease, a painful condition that twists the blood cells into hard sickle shapes. When this happens, blood does not flow well, pain becomes unbearable, fever rises, the body weakens. It is an illness that demands urgent care. But instead of rushing Tunde to a hospital, the family has carried him to the village priest, to the foot of the Iroko tree. The priest has declared that Tunde is Abiku, a spirit child. They have made small cuts on his skin. They are rubbing herbs into the wounds. They are chanting and praying to keep him in this world. To Dr. Kola, this is torture. To the villagers, it is protection. He writes, "I am stuck hours away. The roads are blocked. My training tells me he needs fluids, medicine, maybe even a transfusion. But tradition is pulling harder than science. I don't know if I will reach him in time." The replies come in. Some people are angry. "Call the police." Others are helpless. "There's nothing you can do." Then one comment stands out. "Yes, it is painful to watch. But remember, these rituals are not just superstition. For generations, they were how families explained repeated loss. They are a language of grief." Kola leans back, his eyes burning. For a moment, he does not see his screen. He sees his childhood. Nights under the same Iroko tree, listening to the same drums, hearing whispers of Abiku from old voices. And now, the same old story is standing against him. Science and tradition are pulling on the same child in opposite directions. Back in the village, under the shadow of the great Iroko tree, the air is heavy. The fire flickers, the drums beat slower now, almost like a heart losing strength. On a woven mat lies Tunde. His small body trembles, sweat covering his skin. His breathing is shallow, each breath like a battle he is almost losing. His eyes flutter open, then shut again. He is only a child, yet the weight of two worlds sits on his chest. Beside him kneels the Babalawo, the village priest. His face is lined with years, his hands steady but urgent. He dips his fingers into a bowl of crushed herbs mixed with oil. Then, with a small knife, he makes tiny cuts along Tunde's arm. Careful, deliberate. Into each cut, he presses the herbs, whispering prayers as he works. To him, this is not cruelty. It is an act of war, a war against the unseen spirits that try to steal the child away. Every herb is a shield, every prayer a weapon. He believes he is binding the boy's spirit to the land of the living. Tunde's grandfather crouches nearby, his back bent, his voice broken. Tears stream freely down his face. He whispers, half to himself, half to anyone who might hear, "I buried 3 small graves already. 3 little bodies, all gone too soon. I cannot dig a 4th, I cannot." The priest hears this and nods, his lips still moving in prayer. He places his palm gently on Tunde's forehead, then pauses. His eyes travel to the boy's shoulder, where a faint crescent-shaped birthmark curves like a half moon. The priest stiffens, his breath catches. The seal of the Abiku, he murmurs, the sign that this child belongs to the world of spirits. The crowd gasps softly. Some women cover their mouths. Some men shake their heads, resigned. In that moment, the struggle deepens. It is no longer just sickness in the blood. It is now destiny itself. The battle for whether Tunde will remain a child of this world or slip into the endless cycle of the spirit's children. The night grows heavier, the flames dance, and the boy lies between life and death, while two truths, one of tradition, one of science, prepare to clash over his fragile body. Tunde's eyes roll back, and slowly his body goes limp. The whispers around the Iroko tree rise in panic, but inside him something shifts. The pain, the fever, the weakness, all of it disappears. He is no longer on the mat. He is standing barefoot in a wide open field glowing with golden light. The sky above is soft and endless, the air warm and sweet. For the first time in days, he feels no weight, no sickness, only peace. Before him stands the Iroko tree, taller than mountains, brighter than fire. Its roots twist like rivers, its branches stretch into eternity. The tree glows, alive, as if it is both a bridge and a doorway. From behind its roots, three figures step out. They are children, small, smiling, familiar. Tunde stares, his mouth open. He knows them. They are his siblings, the brothers and sister who died before him. They run toward him, their laughter echoing like bells. Their faces are shining, their arms wide open. Tunde, you came to us. They grab his hands, warm and soft, pulling him into their circle. Their voices are bright, their joy overwhelming. Here there is no pain, no sickness, no cuts, no tears. Here we play forever. Tunde's heart swells. He feels safe, free, happy. He runs with them a few steps, his body light as air. The grass bends under his feet, and for the first time, he forgets about the sharp pain that once lived inside his bones. But then, faintly, another sound breaks through. The deep, steady beat of the drums. The cracked, urgent voice of the old man chanting at the fire. Stay, child of breath. Stay, child of memory. Do not go. Stay. The spirit children stop and frown. Their laughter fades. One of them shakes her head quickly. Don't listen, Tunde. That is a chain. That is the call that binds you to pain. Come with us, where nothing hurts. Tunde's eyes move between them and the glowing tree. His chest tightens again. Not with sickness, but with choice. One path is freedom, endless play with his siblings. The other is struggle, pain, and life. He stands trembling, caught between joy and sorrow, between release and return, between two worlds. The night air suddenly shakes with a roar. A car engine, loud and foreign in the quiet village, speeds down the dirt road. Dust rises, dogs bark, and the crowd around the Iroko tree turns their heads in surprise. The car screeches to a stop. The door bursts open, and Dr. Kola, Tunde's uncle, leaps out. His shirt clings with sweat. His face is sharp with fear and fury. He pushes past the startled villagers, his voice already raised. Where is he? Where is my nephew? The crowd parts slowly. At the center, under the flickering firelight, Kola sees the boy. Pale, weak, his skin marked with small cuts smeared in green herbs. His tiny chest rises and falls in shallow gasps. Kola's heart lurches. His hands shake as he drops to his knees beside Tunde. From his bag, he pulls out a syringe, a small vial, gauze. His voice trembles, but it is fierce. He needs medicine. He needs oxygen. He needs care, not this performance. The word stings the priest, the babalawo. He stands tall, calm, his eyes unflinching. His voice cuts through the tension like a blade. Performance? You see only with the eyes of the body doctor. I see the battle for his soul. If you cool his body but lose his spirit, is that life or an empty shell? The villagers murmur. Some nod at the priest's wisdom. Others glance at the doctor, drawn to his certainty, his urgency. The circle tightens, fear thick in the air. Dr. Kola's hand hovers, trembling, the syringe ready. But in his chest, doubt gnaws. The stories of his childhood rise again. Tales of Abiku, the spirit children, the endless cycle of death and return. He wants to dismiss them, yet in the faces around him, he sees belief deeper than bone. The old and the new stand face to face. Herbs and chants against syringes and science. The boy's life hangs between them, silent but screaming. And the villagers hold their breath, waiting for the clash that will decide whether tradition or medicine rules this night. In the golden field, the spirit children tighten their grip on Tunde's hands. Their laughter returns, but it is edged with urgency. Come, Tunde, they beg. They are giving up. They cannot hold you. Come with us, where there is no pain, no fear, only play. Tunde hesitates. He can hear them clearly, their voices sweet as honey. But then, cutting through raw and human, comes another voice. His uncle's, breaking, pleading. Tunde! Don't leave. Stay. Please stay. Back at the Iroko tree, Dr. Kola lowers the syringe, his hands shaking, his eyes meet the priest's. In them is not only defiance, but exhaustion and a strange, reluctant respect. He takes a deep breath. Tell me, what is your strongest herb? The one that holds the spirit to the body? The priest blinks, startled by the question. He studies Kola, the young man of science daring to reach across the line. Slowly, he points to a thick, dark paste resting in a clay bowl. The roots of kanje, he says softly. It anchors the wandering spirit. It has been used for generations. Kola nods. He swabs Tunde's arm with alcohol, the cold sting of modern medicine steady in his hand. Then, with care, he applies the kanje paste to the cuts, not as rival, but as reinforcement. From his kit, he mixes a packet of oral rehydration salts into clean water and gently pours it between the boy's lips. His whisper is quiet, but the villagers hear. I am not fighting your war. I am strengthening your army. The priest watches, the weight of centuries in his eyes. For the first time, he does not pull away. He lets it happen. Around them, the villagers shift uneasily, then fall silent, realizing something new is unfolding, something they have never seen before. Two worlds, two languages, two ways of saving a life, touching the same body, not as rivals, but as allies. In the golden fields of the spirit world, Tunde feels something shift. The warmth of the strange paste spreads across his skin. The salty water cools his dry throat, trickling like a river into his body. His siblings still pull at him, their smiles bright, their laughter soft as the wind. Don't listen, they whisper. That voice is a chain. Here, you are free. Here, you will never cry again. No pain, no fear, only play. But the warmth grows stronger. He feels it in his bones, in the beat of his tiny heart. He looks at his siblings and whispers, his voice trembling but firm. It's my world. I choose my world. Their smiles falter, their hands slip away, fading like mist in the morning sun. Their laughter turns to echoes, then to silence. And with a sudden shudder, Tunde gasps. His chest rises sharply, his lips tremble, his eyes flutter open. One word escapes, weak but clear: "Mommy." The courtyard erupts. Mothers scream in joy. Fathers raise their hands to the sky. Some fall to their knees weeping. Ululations rise like a wave, filling the night with sound. His mother rushes forward, clutching him, rocking him against her chest as tears stream down her face. The boy she thought was gone breathes again. The doctor wipes his face, relief washing over him. The priest closes his eyes, whispering a prayer of thanks. And the villagers look on, stunned, as the impossible seems to have happened before their eyes. To them, it feels like a miracle. But in truth, it is not miracle alone. It is medicine. It is hydration, salts, and water restoring balance. Sickle cell crises often come from dehydration, from infections, from the body breaking under stress, and sometimes something so simple, salty water, can stand between life and death. That night, no one debates whether it was the herbs, the prayers, or the doctor's treatment that saved Tunde. They only know this: the child who was slipping away has returned. And for once, tradition and science were not enemies, but partners in his survival. Days pass, then weeks. The courtyard that once echoed with cries of fear now fills with the sound of laughter. Tunde runs barefoot across the yard, his legs stronger with each step, his voice high and joyful. His mother watches him with a smile that is equal parts joy and relief, though the shadow of worry still lingers behind her eyes. She knows the battle is not over, but for now, she has her son. The villagers too watch him differently now. Where they once whispered about the Abiku, they now point and smile. Some call him the boy who fought the spirits and won. Others say he carries the strength of both leaf and needle, of roots and medicine. One evening, as the sun sets and the orange light pools beneath the great Iroko tree, two men stand side by side, Dr. Kola and the priest. The hum of insects surrounds them, and the tree towers above, its branches heavy with silence. Kola breaks it first. His voice is quiet but deliberate. The mark on his shoulder, the crescent shape. You've seen it before, haven't you? The priest nods slowly, his weathered face lit by fading sunlight. On all of them, every child that did not stay carried the seal, the sign of the spirit world. Kola exhales, his shoulders heavy with the weight of truth. It is a sign, yes, but not of spirits. It is a sign in the blood, a message written inside the body, passed from parent to child. My sister and her husband, they both carried it. Together, it became this pain. The priest's brow furrows, his voice is low, uncertain. This message, in the blood. Can it be read? Can it be known before a child is born? Kola nods, firmly this time. Yes, with a single drop of blood, it can be read. We can know who carries the trait. We can know which unions bring danger and which do not. The priest is silent. He looks up at the Iroko tree, the bridge between worlds, as if asking it to help him understand. Centuries of ritual press against the new truths unfolding before him. And then, slowly, he nods. His face is carved with doubt, but also with curiosity. If this is true, then perhaps it is not the spirits who choose. Perhaps it is the blood that speaks. For the first time, the old man of herbs and chants and the young man of science stand not as enemies, but as allies. Two guardians from different worlds, united by the same hope, that no child should be born only to die. The drums that once spoke only of fear now seem to hold a new rhythm. The old chanter still sings at his fire, but his song has changed. His words are no longer only prayers to keep a spirit bound, but also a call for knowledge, a call for protection. The war is not leaf against needle. It is not drum against silence. The war is for the breath of the child, and it can only be won by a united front. The roots and the medicine, the chants and the knowledge, tradition and science working side by side. This story is not only about a boy named Tunde. It is not only about one family or one village. It is about something bigger. The way human beings try to protect what they love most, even when they don't fully understand the enemy. For generations, when children died again and again, parents in West Africa needed answers. They needed a way to make sense of grief that had no explanation. The Abiku story gave them language. It gave them a way to believe that the child was not lost forever, but simply moving between worlds. It gave them rituals, chants, herbs, marks, small acts of hope in the face of pain. Science, on the other hand, offers something different. It does not sing or chant, but it gives tools. It explains what happens inside the blood. It gives families choices, knowledge that can prevent a child from being born only to suffer. It cannot take away every pain, but it can light the path in ways tradition could not. But here's the truth. The future does not belong to one side alone. It does not belong only to medicine, and it does not belong only to tradition. The future belongs where they meet. Because rituals give communities strength, they give grief a voice. And science gives those same communities protection, prevention, and the chance to break old cycles of suffering. When knowledge and culture work together, something powerful happens. The chant is no longer just grief, it becomes prayer joined with action. The herbs are no longer just symbols, they are strengthened with medicine. The story of the Abiku no longer ends with loss. It becomes a reminder of why families must know their genotype, why they must prepare before marriage, before children. So, let us not see this as a battle between old and new. Let us see it as a weaving, thread and thread joining into a stronger fabric. A fabric where no child has to die for their parents to understand. A fabric where grief can be replaced with laughter and fear with knowledge. Because in the end, the fight is not against tradition and it is not against science. The fight is for the breath of every child, and that is a war worth winning together. This story is not just about tradition or science, it is about saving children. The real fight is for their breath. So, here's the question. Should AA marry AS to stop sickle cell SS? If yes, how? If no, what's the better solution beyond just testing? In Nigeria, over 150,000 children are born with sickle cell disease every year. Knowing your genotype isn't rejecting tradition, it is a new ritual of protection.